Pilots, what's up? It's Wes from Motion RC, and today I am excited to announce we are assembling the all-new 90mm Zeus from here at Freewing. This is going to be our fastest sport jet ever to come to market. It's going to be a lot of fun to fly, and I can't wait to show y'all around this model. First thing we need to do is get it out of the box. As you can see, we have the color pictures on it now. But let's get this thing out. Let's get all the pieces laid out on the table before we start assembling. Hey, now that we got it all out of the box, let's go over some of the specifications of this new model. The airplane has two 9-gram hybrid digital servos, 7 17-gram metal gear digital servos. The motor is a 3668 1960 kV in-runner motor. The ESC is 120 amp with an 8 amp UBEC. This also has the thrust reversing function you've come to love in some of our newer products. The fan itself is a 90mm 12-bladed fan. The overall weight of this model without the battery installed is 2,820 grams. It is made from durable EPO, and your LiPo battery range is a 6S 5000 to a 6,000 milliamp LiPo battery. All right, it's time to start assembling our Zeus. In order to do this, we're going to start by sliding the aft section of the fuselage onto the airplane. What you're going to notice is there's two clips that are going to clip into the sides of the fuselage as you push it together. You'll hear a very confirming snap as you do that. Once you have it down and seated, you can take a screw for the top. These are all the same screws throughout this airplane. You're going to use a 2mm Allen key. I really like my Benchcraft screwdriver for this. If you haven't checked it out, it's kind of got all your tips and everything in one tool. Anyway, we're going to screw that screw down, then take our two elevator wires that are coming from the aft section, and we're going to plug them in. You'll see on the board that it is labeled signal, negative, and positive. Just make sure you put that yellow wire towards the signal side. Those also go to the front section of your multifunction control board. After you've done that, let's flip the fuselage over. You have another screw that goes in from the bottom. Go on and tighten that up. Once you have that done, it's time to put our elevator on. Now, what you're going to notice when you go to put your elevator on is there are two servo connectors actually attached at the bottom of the thrust tube. You can unclip those to make this a little bit easier. And remember, once again, yellow to yellow, yellow to white. You do have one that's a different color because it's a reverse servo. Go on and plug both of those in, and you're going to notice that there is a pocket at the front of the elevator for all of your wires to go in. Now take some care as you put this on to make sure you don't get any of the servo labels or any of the wires pinched between the elevator and the thrust tube of this airplane. But get those all tucked in there and then seat your elevator. Once you've done that, you're going to take your 4 countersunk screws and put those in. Remember to tighten them down until they stop, but do not over tighten these. Now that your elevator's installed, it is time to get the rudder on. Same thing as before, you're going to notice that there's a nice little pocket at the front of the rudder for your wires to actually go in and to make room for that multifunction control board. Either one of the back 2 slots on that multifunction control board are used for a rudder. The reason there's 2 is like models like our B25 use that extra channel for a second rudder. But go on and plug into either one of those. Remember, once again, yellow wire is your signal, so put that towards the S. Then slide your rudder down from the top. You'll notice the carbon star needs to line up, and it will slide into the slot. Then take your remaining 5 countersunk screws and install all of them. You should not have to force anything in this part. If you do, you've probably got something pinched under it. Okay, for this part, we are going to get the wing installed now. Now this is a super slick design on the Zeus, and it's all new for this model. What you're gonna do is take your carbon spar and slide it through the fuselage. Then reach down and you're gonna see the gear doors actually have a little clip to let them loose. Go on and loosen off the gear doors and open them up. They're spring loaded. Then take your wing and slide it on. Once your wing is on, connect your multi-function control board into your wing half. Then slowly slide the wing down until the wheel is almost to touch the little piece that actually actuates the gear door. Make sure you push that up and slide it all the way in. You'll see that it'll close back up as you slide it in. Now, the cool part on this is it's got a new type of quick connect on the wing. You're gonna push your wing in and then reach over there and push that button in. It will go in and click and stop. If it's out, you'll see white. If it's in, all you'll see is blue. Once that's clicked in, to take it back off, all you do is push that little button and it will pop back out. That's as easy as clipping these wings on and off is. Then repeat that step for the other side to get your other wing half on. All right, now that we have our wings installed, the aircraft is actually all together. Now, something I did off screen is I went on ahead and installed a 7-channel Futaba receiver into this. Remember, you can use any brand receiver you want with this aircraft, as long as it uses standard servo ports. But for my case, I'm using my Futaba 16IZ and a 7-channel receiver. Let's go over the first thing you should do after you power up the model the first time. Let's go on and do a throttle calibration. Super easy to do this. What we're gonna do is unplug the airplane. We're gonna take our transmitter, go to full throttle. Then we're gonna plug in our flight pack, listen for the 2 beeps, and then bring our throttle stick to 0. And then you'll hear it arm. Just like that. Now we've set the endpoints of the top and the bottom. If the first time you plug in your aircraft, the receiver or the ESC is just constantly beeping, it means that it doesn't think you're at 0 throttle position. Doing a throttle calibration normally clears this up for you. The next part we need to talk about is throttle thrust reverse. Now, this is a feature that's available in a lot of our newer models, and it's super easy to set this up. Just take that extra wire that's labeled reverse, plug that into an open channel. Now, this is why I'm using a 7-channel receiver. For customers that want to use a 6-channel, you can, but you will not be able to use this reverse thrust function. So plug that into that open 7th channel and then assign that channel to a 2-position switch on your transmitter. Now for me, I prefer to use SH, which is the top corner button on my 16IZ. It's a momentary switch. For customers flying Spectrum, I always recommend them to put it on their bind button. The reason I tell you to use that momentary switch is if you're in flight and you accidentally bump your thrust reverse, you just let go of it and it instantly goes back to straight and level flight, and you don't have an issue where you've got it stuck in reverse thrust and you're going, what is going on? The airplane's falling out of the sky. That's why I recommend you put it on one of those buttons. Now, when you fire it up for your first time, if your thrust is going the wrong direction with your momentary switch, all you have to do is simply reverse channel 7, which is where you put it, unless you put it on a 10 channel and you put it on a different channel. As long as you take and reverse the channel that it's assigned to, the thrust will go the correct direction then. So that is something I've seen some customers have issues with. So yeah, if your motor's running backwards with that plugged in, just reverse whatever channel you have it plugged into. Super easy. Now, for your dual rates and expo, just go off of page 11 in your manual. It shows exactly what your high, low rate should be. I usually also like to make one that's in between both of those for a mid rate, which I did in this case. It also tells you what your flat maximum deflection should be. I like to cut that in half for a takeoff setting also. So just go right off of your manual. Like I said, page 11 shows you exactly how to set up your dual rates for this aircraft. Lastly, before we go to fly this, we need to check our CG. It's very simple on the Zeus as it has the CG marks actually on the wing. Now this is going to be a little bit more forward CG, which is going to make the airplane feel very rock solid. I highly recommend you start with the CG marks on the wing. Then if you feel like you need a little more tail weight, slide your battery back. We always recommend customers use that prescribed CG mark that is on the wing. We feel like that is a very safe and comfortable position to fly this aircraft on for your maiden flight though. Like I said, we know a lot of customers are going to move that around, and yes, it will fly with it a little bit behind that CG mark, but start there first. It's going to make your life a lot easier. Now, the landing gear on the Zeus are machined aluminum suspension retracts. These are going to be great for guys that fly off of grass. You get a nice large wheel in this case. They are instant out, instant in. Not really a lot of delay on this, being that it has just the nose gear doors that need to open and close via a servo. The rear doors actually are spring loaded. And you'll see they actually have a little piece that catches the wheel as it goes in to pull them open and closed. So when you're on the ground, they just hang open all the time. And then, like I said, as your wheels come up, they're going to grab those and pull them up instantly for you. The model is also just covered in lights. You've got your strobes on the top and the bottom, and you also have your red and green navigation lights that are the day bright LEDs we've come to love from all of our Freewing Wing models of late, that really help this thing in the evening dusk hours. You can see them super, super bright. The airplane also has the little pot light on the nose gear that you've come to see on a lot of our other models. It really helps though for orientation when you're coming into land to be able to see that bright white light pointed at you. I always really like that feature. It looks really cool. Well guys, this is the all new Zeus. I'm super excited for you to see these airplanes out into customers' hands. It's always fun seeing what you guys do with them. And I know a lot of guys are going to have fun with this one because this is going to be a rocket ship compared to most of our airplanes. For customers that love the Avanti, I have a feeling you're going to have your 90mm airplane you've always wanted with this airplane, and I can't wait to see it. So hey guys, like always, whether it's land, sea, or air, Motion RC has everything you want. See you in the next video. Bye guys.